Welcome back to our channel. Today we've got a Kyalami Green Facelift RS3 in for a full kit. This customer opted for the version 1 spoiler and side skirt extensions, but we do also do the side skirt replacements which we have on our RS3, which replace the gloss black plastics. Or obviously if you have a Vorsprung and you just want extensions, then you can just get the extensions, but we offer it with both packages. And then he's got the splitter, the new aggressive diffuser, and he also opted for the side fender trims and these ducts in carbon fiber. So we'll show you how to get each one of those products onto the car and how it looks at the end. So we're going to start on the spoiler just to get it in place first, and then it's got time to cure. So it comes with tape pre-applied, but we're going to add some Tiger Seal here and here. So we'll start on that, and then I'll spread it a bit with my finger just so it's nice and even, because that reduces the risk of it popping out. Oh. And the tape will hold it in place there. But you still need to make sure that you don't put too much on, because you're gonna have a bad time. Now I can peel the tape and get some Tiger Seal on my fingers. Ah. Yeah. Then whilst I'm doing this, Matt's just gonna prepare the surface with some degreaser. So this 3M tape is a lot easier to peel than some of the others. Ooh, let's put that straight in the bin. So now you need 2 people here really, because if you're using Tiger Seal and using this extra sticky tape, you do not want to be taking it back off. So Matt and I together are gonna line it up. Flush there, Matt, yeah?
At the front?
Yeah, flush with the front edge.
Yeah.
That was mine. Mine's actually a bit smaller. So when you're doing spoilers like this, the thing that you might be okay here and there's no gap and it's stuck down, but you always have to check in there. That gap in there is your sign for whether or not it's all stuck down correctly. All good? Perfect. And then for anyone wondering, with the other version of the spoiler that we've got on our yellow RS3, that is also Tiger Sealed on, so it's pretty much the same thing. You put Tiger Seal in there, but the other one, it sits snug over this gap. So it just pops into place. You can't apply it with tape because then it would create a gap here and it wouldn't sit flush. So you put Tiger Seal in there, pop it into place, and then it just sits there nice and perfect. Well, next we're fitting the middle spoiler. So this wasn't part of the kit, but the customer got it as an extra, which we also sell. So that kind of sits there, but Matt and I are gonna peel the tape and then we'll fix it into place with the tape that is pre-applied. So now, again, you want 2 people for this really. So you want it just above, you want it sitting just above this line here. And then we'll just place it. Yep. So just because it's gently on there, I think that's all right, Matt? A bit up, I think. And then that's perfect. There you go. So now, press it down, get the tape to stick. Easy as that. Next, we're moving on to the splitter. So we're just gonna put a line of tape along here, clean up the surface, stick it into place, and screw it into place with the screws that are provided in the kit. So it's literally that easy. You can do this at home as long as you can get the car in the air a little bit. All right, chap. So on this one, I'm just gonna be applying the tape, but we're gonna ensure that the tape from now on does come pre-applied from factory. This was an early splitter, so we weren't sure if it needed the tape pre-applied, so we're going to make sure that on the newer ones that I made, the tape is done before it gets to the customers. Now I'll get my assistant Matt. So we'll line it up from the back. So the back line of the bumper, and then nice and easy. You want it flush here, and that's how you know you're in the right place. Yeah, perfect. Now it's matching. Now it's all stuck into place. And then we'll use these. Screw it in. Two. Onto these, the key with them is to not be gentle. You kind of have to pull on yourself and they just clip out like that. So the most important thing is just not to scratch here. So when you're pulling, you kind of want to pull like that away. Let's do the other side. So if you're pulling away, whew, this one's a bit tighter. Whoa! There you go, that came off. Okay, now we get the new one and it uses the exact same original clips. So we just line it up into place. There we go, everything's in. Little tap, boom. Just like that. But just going back to it, if you are stuck, you can get to the clips back here when you're removing the original ones. But I've found every time I've done it, they've just pulled off. Next, we're doing the side skirts. Matt's already cleaned up the surface on both sides. So with these, just like we showed in the very first 8Y video a few years ago, we'll just screw these into place with the screws provided. And that is it. And then all the tape comes pre-applied, just like with most parts. Essentially with our parts, if the tape doesn't come pre-applied, you probably don't need tape. So if you have any questions, we are working on a lot of the fitting guides and we do have a lot of YouTube videos of how to fit parts. But if you have any questions, if you're struggling with anything, you're always welcome to contact the team. I'm just going to peel all this tape off whilst I'm waiting for Matt to come back. Making it look real easy today. It is not normally this easy to peel the tape. It's a good tape day. So if I remember correctly, the longer part goes at the front. Let's check. Yeah, so that's the longer part. So this is the near side and this is the front side. So I'll just wait for Matt and we'll get started. So with these, you want this edge here, I don't know if you can see it, but you'll see the edge right next to the tape to line up with this edge of the side skirt there. And that's how you know you're in the right place. You're flush now, cool. So yeah, as I was saying, with this, you want the edge to line up with that edge on the original side skirt. And then screw these in. This side's on. I'm just gonna do one rear, just so Matt can let go. That's it, and then we just work our way along the bottom. Now we're moving on to the diffuser. So to get the original one off, it is just all clipped in. So we're gonna work our way along the clips on the bottom, and then it kind of just has a bit more wiggle room, and then just take it all off, and the new one clips in. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add 2 screws because it goes under here. So first thing first, Matt's under there with a trim removal tool. Yeah, yeah. And then with here, you can also get your hand in here, and that's the first ones as well. So we want that first bit to move. There we go. It's the first one. So now, the whole thing. So if I, there we go. Now just start unclipping these because they're quite brittle. The sounds are horrible. All out? Yeah. There we go. Nice and easy. And if people are wondering, that is just a reflector. That's not a F1 brake light. So we do get rid of that in our kit. Let's just give it a little clean and then we can get the new one on. Now we've got the old one off. The new one is just a case of putting it into place and giving it a little tap. So The one thing that you've got to be careful of is that it lines up with these holes underneath. If you come under here, Jack, this is the, because if you don't get them in, you're gonna have a bad time. Yeah, that's it. Little tap. That's it. Check everything under here. That's all perfect. That's all perfect. You can see by this line, it kind of like goes up a bit. So as long as that's all flush, you're perfect. It's as easy as that. And then we'll just screw it into place here. So with these, hold it exactly where you want it. There we go. 1, 2. Perfect. And then 2 here. So now that the diffuser's done, it's all in place, the side pieces are screwed in. The last thing that's left to do on this customer's car is these side fender trims. So they go here, if you follow me, Jack. So they will be stuck on just there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna peel the tape and we're gonna put some adhesive here in the middle. But first we're gonna clean up the surface. So just spread in the adhesive evenly because you don't want it to be too thick in any one place, otherwise it can start seeping out. So that's off on this nice surface here. Peel the tape. So now that I've put adhesive on here, it's just a case of lining it all up. So you don't want it to sit over the edge here, which you can come over to in a sec, Jack. So as long as that's all in the right place, push it down. And you want it to sit all evenly on this line, and you don't want it to sit over the line. So it's nice and easy. Same with this one. So that's the kit all wrapped up. The splitter, the side skirts, these duct covers here, the side fender trims, the spoiler, the middle spoiler, and the diffuser are all on. Hopefully that video helps when it comes to fitting one of these at home, or whether you're one of our fitting partners and want to know exactly how to fit this kit. So as you saw, we used screws on the splitter, on the side skirts, and 2 on the diffuser. So we use different ones to the ones we provide in the packages, because the ones we provide in the packages have a Phillips head. So it's a little bit easier to use them when you are doing this at home. I think Chuck likes it. So this is the V1 kit, as I mentioned earlier in the video, which means that it uses these extension side skirts, which you would have seen in our pre-Facelift 8Y video, because the side skirts are interchangeable, and the same with the spoiler. So that spoiler actually fits the 8Y A3, S3, RS3, pre-Facelift and Facelift. So you can have either spoiler, and we have a car here with the other version. So depending on which one you prefer, this is the 2 kits side by side, and these are the replacement side skirts. So you take the plastic, black plastic off, and you put these on as a replacement, whereas those ones on the green one that we did today are an extension. So hopefully that shows you the difference. Then the only other difference really with this car is that this is the V2 with the other spoiler, the newer one that we just designed. Again, it is backwards compatible with the A3, S3 and RS3 pre-facelift and facelift. And this one has got the reflected leads here. So that's the only difference between these 2 kits. And I just wanted to jump on here and show you the 2 because there is a little bit of overlap with the pre-facelift and the facelift. I know I've said those 2 words quite a lot in this video. But yeah, and then the other difference is that this car is lowered and it has some SP Felgen wheels. So that's about it. So if we jump back to the green RS3, let's just talk about everything that is sort of needed to get this all in place. So here on the side pieces, it does have tape pre-applied, and then you put some adhesive in the middle, stick it into place, say for both sides. These, you remove the originals and clip these ones in. They literally just a little tap, they're in place. It uses all the original clips. There's no issues with them clipping in or anything like that. They won't come off. With the splitter, as I said earlier in the video, we are going to make sure that the factory pre-applies all the tape. It's just a case of screwing everything in with some self-tappers or whatever you prefer. Then with the side skirts, with these ones, just like in the pre-facelift car, it is screwed into place. You can use the self-tappers that we provide. And if we work our way around the back, with the side pieces of the spoiler, you do need to bond them on, and then you just use the pre-applied tape everywhere else. And then the tape is pre-applied on the outside here, well, on the inside, but on the outer line, and you just put the Bondo in the middle. This is all double-side taped on, and diffuser, you saw how easy it is. You take the original one off, you put this into place, and you put screws into the 2 holes on each side. So it's as easy as that. And then if we just compare how to get this fitted, it is virtually the same thing, but you just take the plastic rivets out the bottom of the plastic, pull the original plastics off, clips these in, and screw them along the bottom, just like you would with the self-tappers there. Oh, I forgot actually, but you also put in the plastic rivets. So if you do have the replacements, you're gonna need some plastic rivets at home. And then with this spoiler, it is just bonded on. So because of the way that it sits, it completely hugs the back. So we can't put any tape on there because it will ruin the shape and it won't let it sit in the exact right place. So what you're going to need to do is put some adhesive everywhere along it, slot it into place. When it clips in, you'll feel that it's in the right place. There's only one way that it goes. That's the only difference with fitting these. And obviously if you have a saloon, the other difference will be you have to remove the original spoiler and put our one on with the double-sided tape that's provided. So hopefully that helps, gives you a good idea of the RS3. If you have any questions about the kits or any other kits that we do, please get in touch with our team or email us at info@ctcarbon.co.